get back on track. You said that, you know, I guess you guys making the tracks and ended up cooking up a demo and shopping it out to various labels, and Shaka was the one who drew attention to it as far as with the Right Here soundtrack. I know you told me a funny story about that, as far as like, you know, y'all flew out, I guess, to meet with labels or whatever, have a meeting about it, and y'all ended up losing the track.
Oh man, yeah. So now this is exclusive right here because we never really told the story like this. But so I'm gonna go back a little bit. So when we sent the demo to Shaka, Right There was the first song that they heard, and they loved it out the gate. So they called us back and was like, you know, we love this song. You know, we want to get it pressed up and put it out. So we was like, cool. So he was like, I want you and, you know, Zoe to go to an engineer in St. Louis, whoever y'all work with, and get Right There mixed. So me and Zoe went and got Right There mixed, and we put it out locally. So the version that the early people heard was the original version that we lost. So that was the first version. So when we got the deal with Capitol Records, we flew out to LA and to mix the song. So we signed the deal, get the advances, everything is going legally, everything good. So the next step is Capitol wanted us to remix Right There over with bigger engineers, which is typical in the music industry. So that next day, me and Zoe go to the studio, and we sitting with the engineer, and we pull up the session, and it's gone. And I'm looking at Zoe like, shh, like, where the session at, bro? Like, and he looking at me like, what happened? Like, we don't know. So we going through all our hard drives, we scrambling, we panicking, and we like can't find it. So me and Zoe go talking private, and we like, yo, like, we got to do something, because I don't know how are we going to tell Shaka Zulu and Wendy Goldstein, the VP that signed us at the time, like, how are we going to tell them that the song is gone, the beat? So me and Zoe, if I remember correctly, we came up with something, a family emergency or something like that, and we was like, we got to go back home. Something came up. So we flew back to St. Louis, mixed, you know what I'm saying, redid it, and flew back to LA. And what's crazy is when we redid it over, a lot of the stuff we got almost perfect, but the bass line, because I know when I played the bass line, I was drunk as hell when we did that. So I struggled because I was just in the zone drinking, just do, you know what I'm saying? So that's probably one of the only parts that we struggled the most on, because I didn't really remember the keys because I freelanced it. But that was funny to the point that nobody ever knew that we redid it. And like I told you, like, so later on, when we end up finding a song again, like we end up moving our home studio to another location. And we were just going through our discs, cleaning out the studio, and we end up finding the damn session. We like, damn, it was right here. Like, how did we miss that? And we end up playing the session, and it sounded nothing like the one that everybody hear today. Yeah, it's crazy. And we never told nobody that. We kept it top secret up until now.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I bet y'all, like you said, y'all was panicking, like, what the hell? Like, everything, y'all just got the deal, and something they, you know, wanted is gone.
Everything we worked for, me and Zoe looking at each other like, we done got this deal, got to this point, and we finna mix the biggest song of our life, and it's gone. The beat I'm talking about, gone. We flew back to St. Louis and did everything from scratch. And like I said, it had to be just our destiny and fate, because when we listened to the original one, it was completely different. So me being on my spiritual journey, like, I'm thinking like, well, maybe that one might not have had the impact globally as this one have, and it was just meant for us to do it over.
Probably.
Because we don't even know how, because I think we end up finding it on the hard drive, like it just damn popped up on there or something, like it was crazy. So yeah.
Now, was Kanye West supposed to be on the remix?
Yeah. So we were in the studio, and Kanye and DJ Quick was the first ones to hear it right there. And so when we were working on Right There, mixing it, and Kanye actually came to the studio session. You know what I'm saying? He actually had a studio session already over on the other side, but he came into our session. And Kanye came in there, and this was the backpack Kanye. Not the one y'all see today, but this is a through the wire Kanye. So Kanye comes into the studio, he hear Right There, he started mimicking, and you know what I'm saying, he loved the record and he wanted to get on there. And originally that was gonna be the format, but shockingly it was like, nah, you know, we want to keep it like the same. We don't want to mess up the formula of the record that, you know what I'm saying, we don't want to mess up the formula and the energy that this record is gaining. So they was like, nah. But yeah, he actually was going to be on there, and it was considered, but you know, it just didn't turn out. So
Gotcha. That would been tight. Me and West collab like that, especially in the beginning, and looking back in hindsight, yeah, that would have been crazy.
I look at it like that too, but I also look at it too like that if Kanye was on the record, would it may have had the same impact to? Would it may have brought a different element? Because you got to remember, Kanye wasn't Kanye we see today. He was through the wire Kanye, and as a matter of fact, I don't even know if he even had a deal at that point. He was still like, he had just put out Through the Wire, and he was still moving around, so he was bubbling. So we do think about that, but I don't know if it would have came out the same. Yeah. And plus us coming from St. Louis, we got an opportunity outside of what Nelly and them was doing was to show our culture. And to me, it would have kind of been too early for that at that particular time. Okay. So yeah.